Hello and welcome back to FC26 Spin the Wheel edition, brought to you by myself, Bevchenko. We've hit a bit of a blue patch at the moment, struggling to get wins. I think it's 1 in 5. However, we've got 4 games remaining for the remainder of the season. We've got Chelsea away, which is a battle between 5th and 6th. So we need to try and get at least one objective completed this season and finish in the Europa League spots. We currently hold that 5th position. We're also going to come up against Chris Wood and Murillo and potentially James McAtee, who we had to sell, courtesy of the wheel making us do it. Then we should fit in a home game against Newcastle. And things don't get easier as we visit Manchester United and Bournemouth in the last game of the season, and those two should be done in tomorrow's episode. So let's get cracking. No changes for Forest as we head to Stamford Bridge. Evan Nilsson retains the starting lineup, leading the line, and Jed Spence will now permanently continue in Ola Aina's right back position, as the Nigerian has now officially been dropped. So we go. João Pedro to Palmer, Caicedo to Lavia, Gittins, Cucurella. Oh, I thought he lost the ball then. He bounced off the challenge from Dan and Doy. Chelsea still with the ball. Forrest's going to have to be very wary of Cole Palmer today. He won't need many opportunities. Well, hopefully Forest can keep up their form against the bigger clubs where they seem to do alright against them. It's the ones at the bottom half of the table where we seem to completely struggle and go to pieces and get super keepered. João Pedro. And Elliot Anderson wins the ball here. Forrest on the break. Ball over the top to Evan Nilsson, who lays it off nicely to Dan and Doy. Cucurella will be ready to put in a challenge, but Jed Spence picks it up. Lovely ball to Elliot Anderson. Gets his shot away. It's not a foul, it's play on according to the referee. Unbelievable challenge there by Colwill, I believe. Not 100% certain on that. Jed Spence picks up the loose ball. Forrest reset. Musa Niakate brings it forward to Elliot Anderson. Fofana looking for support. Doesn't get it anywhere. So it goes back to Nico Williams, who gives it to Elliot Anderson. Gives it to Douglas Luiz. Plays Morgan Gibbs-White, and Dan and Doy gets released down the line. Cucurella's already waiting for that ball though. And Gibbs-White tries to get a ball to Evan Nilsson, but it's cut out. So Kimmich picks it up. Picks up forward. Neto. João Pedro leading the line for Chelsea today. Great ball by Cole Palmer to feed Neto, who's got some pace against the Welsh international Nico Williams, who's step over the ball and puts his body in the way there. Great ball by Malik Fofana, but Murillo against his former club gets in the way, and that's the problem Forest are going to have today. Forest were unbelievable at the back when they had Murillo, and no doubt Chelsea are going to be that today, so Forest probably needs to try and attack the right hand side and keep it away from Murillo. Interesting, as a left footed centre back is playing on that right position for Chelsea. Great, lovely ball there by Morgan Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White's going to have to try and do it all himself by the looks of it. He's turned one player. Can he get a shot away? On his wrong foot and skies it over the bar, does the captain. One ball from the keeper. João Pedro wins the header to knock it down to Cole Palmer. He's looking to make things happen to Lavia. Goes back to João Pedro. Cole Palmer makes a run for it, but Neto's already there as well. Nico Williams going to have to be on his game again today. Fantastic piece of defending by the Welsh international, who continues. Oh, Murillo intercepts that through ball there. Evan Nilsson would have been away. Not sure if he would have had the pace to last the whole distance, but he certainly would have had half a chance. Cole Palmer, live to Colwill. Knocking it around nicely at Chelsea. Here's Murillo. So it looks like Chris Wood is not getting a game for Chelsea. And it looks like neither is James McAtee, who is on loan from Forest. So it was a loan deal that the wheel accepted from the Stamford Bridge club. Jed Spence blasts it away. Throw into Chelsea. 41 played. Even game so far. Been 0 opportunities for either team. Cucurella. Chelsea playing it nicely down these wings. Gittins got some pace. So as Jed Spence should be able to cover. Got to be careful here. Looking to put that cross in. And Jed does well to keep the ball in. In doing so, he's giving the ball back to Chelsea. Gittins once more plays it to Jed Spence pass. Here's Forest on the attack. It's going to be half-time. 0-0 at the break. Both teams content with that. Forest, probably the happier of the two teams because it will keep Chelsea away from them. Whatever happens, Forest cannot lose today. Arsenal have... Sorry. Yeah, it is Arsenal, I think, who are breathing down their necks as well. For that other position is Dan and Doy, half chance. Over the bar again. Another goal kick. Karnaseki to Colwill. To Kimmich. Plays it to Cucurella. Lavia to Gittins. Gittins, all the pace in the world. From the young starlet. Interesting that Chelsea not playing Estevao today. Obviously on our short list to continue the Brazilian contingency. So Forest may explore that one in the future. Might have to be alone though to keep it realistic given his high potential as a player. Oh, just cut out. Fofana should have took it all the way. Would have been a fantastic goal if he managed to pull it off. Great through ball to João Pedro. Should get half a chance here. Saved by Matt Sells. It's the first effort on target for either team, I believe. Now Gibbs White's looking to play a ball over the top to Evan Nilsson. He's got the strength, but Murillo, once again, big cheers from the Chelsea faithful, knowing how much it irks us as a club having to have sold Murillo as part of the spin the wheel format. We're Brazilian, just going to stop everything today, unfortunately. Lovely ball. It's gone to the wrong player, though. Nice strength by Gibbs White, but ends up back at Murillo's feet. Gittins brings it forward, charging down the line to Lavia. Cucurella overlapping. João Pedro plays it through to Cole Palmer. Jacunha. Excellent by the young Brazilian. Ball over the top. It's not what I meant to do. Murillo easily picks that up, brings it down with beautiful touch, and plays it away. And Cole Palmer gives it to Lavia. Ball to Gittins. Dan and Doy wins it. Jed Spence on the counter now. Got the pace as Jed Spence to do something here. Gets past Lavia. He's got Cucurella to get past though. Morgan Gibbs White and Evan Nilsson supporting. Can it come to any of them? It comes to Elliot Anderson. Edge of the box. Shot gets blocked. Forest have not had a clear shot on goal yet. There's 15 remain. Caicedo. Chelsea with 3 times as many passes as Forest, which is usually the case for teams against us. As we try and just get that ball worked into that box as quickly as possible to try and have an effort. Matt Sells easily saved. Dan and Doy screams for the ball. He gets it. Needs some support. There's none. Plays it back to Jed Spence. Now it goes down the line, but Cucurella intercepts. Gittins. Jed Spence has messed up here. His challenge. Ball comes across Jacunha to Jed Spence again. Comes back to Gittins. Moussa Niakate. Great footwork to win that. Well held by Morgan Gibbs White. Hefty challenge by Gittins, but he wins the ball. Very, very even game between these two teams. Cannot be angry at missed chances on this one. So far, anyway. Gittins. Cucurella. Lovely play down this left-hand side by Chelsea. Dan and Doy wins it and gives it away. Looks like it's going to be a point apiece for both clubs. And the poor form will continue for Forest. And there it is, 0-0 at Stamford Bridge. Now things don't get easier for Nottingham Forest, as it is currently 6th versus 3rd. So Forest have dropped out of the Europa League places. Can Forest get a win at the City Ground? Their penultimate game at home for the season. Dan and Doy wanting to make a quick start. Just go put a cross in. You never know. Got to be in it to win it. Put a ball into the box. And Forest actually retain possession there. As Hall misplaces his challenge. Douglas Luiz. It's been quiet past few games, Douglas Luiz. This man hasn't. Elliot Anderson, it's all come through him. Douglas Luiz. Dinks the ball up. And easily held by Nick Pope. Moussa Niakate has come away with this. He's got no support as the centre-back. He loses the ball. Anthony Gordon, the man who knocked Forest out of the FA Cup. Matt Sells is off his line here. Ball's gone back to Moussa Niakate as Forest reset. Forest will be after some revenge today. And that is a terrible ball by Nico Williams. Won't be getting no revenge if playing like that. Jacob Murphy whips the ball in. Not sure who got to that. Looks like a save by Matt Sells. Corner. Murphy puts it in. Well held by Sells. Looks for a quick ball to Dan and Doy. It's the right man for it. Ball over the top. That's poor. Tonali picks it up with ease. Manchester City now 7 points clear of Liverpool. So, I think it was Liverpool. They're 7 points clear anyway, whoever's in second position. So, they could be tied up today. But they've looked the likely candidates to win it for weeks. And there's another chance goes begging for Forest. What do Forest have to do to score a goal? They're putting unbelievable efforts. Oh, and there is that goal. Elliot Anderson with a beautiful header to take the lead. It's his first goal of the season. It's probably his 100th attempt at this header, by the way. And finally, the looping header goes in. Over the top. Side netting doesn't get much more perfect than that. Against his former club, the Geordie Maradona, as he was dubbed by the Newcastle faithful, celebrates. Unbelievable. No one else would have wanted a goal more than him. He played quite well at the game at St James's Park as well. Bruno Jimenez not looking too happy there with that wasted effort. Forest finally scoring. Has the hoodoo been broken? Can we get some more? Dan and Doy skip past Hall here. Looking to set up another half effort. Ball comes through. Great save by Nick Pope again. That's two big saves he's made today. Can he save this one? And he does. He's going for the top corner, I believe. Dan and Doy getting a bit too excited there. Great header by Moussa Niakate to win possession back for Forest. Here he is, the goal scorer. Trying to charge his way through. Gets blocked off. Joel Linton uses his strength against Morgan Gibbs-White. How Forest would be keen on bringing in that Brazilian midfielder to the club. But obviously Forest have to pay attention and see what happens with Douglas Luiz, whose loan will be ending at the end of the season. Will Forest bring Douglas Luiz back? That's what we need to wait and see. It's a poor pass by Douglas Luiz. He's been very good from set pieces as Douglas Luiz. Handball there by Douglas Luiz, I think, but the referee said play on. Ball to Evan Nilsson from Dan and Doy. Cuts inside. Looking at some tricky feet. Let's just play the ball back here. Douglas Luiz to Evan Nilsson. Great turn. Shot. Saved by Nick Pope again. Forest could be 4-0 up by now. Here's that header again. No. Gets blocked this time and Anthony Gordon comes away with it. Forest got to be careful of his pace. Moussa Niakate with the header, but straight to Anthony Gordon. Fortunately, Forest have got Jed Spence playing this time. It was Ola Aina who got absolutely rinsed by the Newcastle attacking midfielder forward in the FA Cup. So they're not making that mistake again. 1-0 at the break, courtesy of Elliot Anderson's goal against his former club. Bruno Jimenez. No changes for either team. Jimenez doing well to keep hold of the ball. Another Brazilian who's been on the list for Forest. Nico loses the ball to Jacob Murphy. Got to be careful here. People sliding in. Half a chance. Got to be careful. Forest needs to get rid of this. And they do. Or do they? Very, very close by Bruno Jimenez. Douglas Luiz getting substituted now. Mr. Nottingham Forest and club captain Ryan Yates coming on, who surpasses 250 appearances for his club recently. He's played with Forest in the good times and the bad. And that's a great ball to Bruno Jimenez. But Moussa Niakate comes and clears that one. Takes a deflection onto Elliot Anderson, who's just been sived down there. Ball over the top. Oh, well blocked by Dan Burn. I believe it was Dan Burn. Not even sure if he's playing, just guessing. So Forest next up, away at Manchester United. They're going to need to make sure they keep these wins coming. Because now, it's not in their hands. They're currently in 6th. We'll see what happens in today's results. Great challenge by Kieran Trippier. Fofana sprinting back here. Walter loses out. Fofana is looking for support. Where is this support? He needs it. Gets it down the line now from Elliot Anderson. Wins the corner. There's the booking by Tonali earlier. That terrible foul on Elliot Anderson. Former Forest player Anthony Elanga comes on as substitute. Another player with surprise. Elliot Anderson blasts it towards goal. But it gets deflected back across goal. And here he is again. Interested to see Anthony Elanga not getting a game. Because how I would love him back at the City ground. And it's something. If he's not playing, we'll have to see what his agent says. Great block to stop Bruno Jimenez. Matt Sells holds onto the ball. Half chance there for Newcastle to get back in this. Forest need to start winning. Otherwise the season is going to be over very quickly. And we'll probably get the sack. Nico Williams. Puts in a lovely ball to Morgan Gibbs-White. Double save. Nick Pope again. He played so well in the FA Cup, didn't Nick Pope? And now he's doing it again today. Great goalkeeping from another England international. Oh, sived down as Evan Nielsen looks to put that ball through. Walter loses possession. So the Forest as Elliot Anderson gives it away to Bruno Jimenez. Walter gives it to Anthony Elanga, who uses pace, and back to Anthony Elanga. Forest going to be careful. No, should get the ball back. There we go. Released him. Malik Fofana should have the pace here with Elliot Anderson out of position. With Anthony Elanga out of position. Great tackle by Tonali. Paul. First time I've actually seen him control the ball correctly today. Bruno Jimenez. Is it to Kieran Trippier? Forrest got to be careful because he's going to be looking for Anthony Elanga. Altamade does look for Anthony Elanga. That's cut out. Elliot Anderson driving it forward now. Puts the ball through to Malik Fofana. There should be a tap in it. And Nick Pope once again hangs on to the ball. Forrest looking to make it 2 to finish it. And it is finished. 1-0 win to Nottingham Forest. Huge, huge victory. So Manchester City all but guaranteed the title now. It's going to have to be an amazing swing on goal difference. Manchester City have got a game in hand. We only need a point to win it now. Forest have regained 5th position from Arsenal. Chelsea have dropped right down now. So, I mean, there's plenty of teams still in this. You've got Forest on 64, Arsenal on 64, Villa on 61, Chelsea on 61, Bournemouth on 59 who can technically make it. So it's going to go down to the wire. So make sure you join us in the final episode of the season coming tomorrow. If you've enjoyed the series so far, please, please, please hit that subscribe button. Maybe leave a comment and a like on this video. Until next time, cheers.